All right, what is going on, everybody? This is Jack from Golden Dice Podcast. I'm fresh off the community celebration that took place in Minnesota this past weekend. And some of the big things that people have been asking to see are how are the foils? How are the cards? How do the Hyperspace actually look kind of in person? And I feel like some of the quick photos I took weren't the best. I'm sure some other content creators did a lot better job than me, but I wanted to just kind of post this short video where we're going to look through all the foils, all the Hyperspace, and then the Hyperspace foils that I got. And won't really necessarily go too long, but we'll start off with the foils, go into Hyperspace, and then do the Hyperfoils. But yeah, we're going to start off with the foils. So got a decent amount. This was around 30 packs. So keep that in mind, if you will. But as you can see, it's already popping right off onto just your eyes, I guess you could say. It just pops right off the card. The foil looks amazing, and even, card like prepared for takeoff. It's not like super great just yet, but you can see as you get more vehicle units, and it's gonna be great to have that bling in your deck. You see Snowspeeder. I think a lot of these like heroism cards, especially, and some of these unit ones, where down at the bottom it's like a whitish blue with the foil, and it just all around just really shows off on these cards. And excuse me if my voice isn't the best right now. It was a very fun weekend. You got Mon Mothma. You have Carabast. We have Jedi lightsaber here, like I said, with the white, with the heroism. To me, it just looks so good. We got a Wampa. A less exciting volunteer soldier, but still looks very good. This is a fantastic one that I was able to pull. A legendary Millennium Falcon foil. And look at that. Look at the way the light hits off and just like the rainbow. Oh, it is so good. Oh, it is so good. I'm going to be broke with this game. Good morning, guards. These guys look fine. All the foils are good. There's no bad ones, at least from what I've seen so far. We got one of the newer cards, Disarm. We got the tried and true 7th Fleet, and some of the people have been asking a little bit about, curling, pringling. There is a ever so slight one on some of the foils, but nothing like what we saw for the pre-release Vader and Luke. Nothing to that extent, even close. You've got Snowtrooper Lieutenant. You've got Academy Training. We have another prepared for takeoff. I just need one more, and I got my foils. Force Throw, super happy to get this one. Do love this card. A lot of fun, and I can only imagine what a Hyperspace foil on this card looks like, because that is fantastic. Cantina Braggart, Infiltrator Skill, First Legion Snowtrooper, love that, like just the white and the foil, I think looks really nice. Reinforcement Walker looking great. Yularen, you can just see like the rainbows on as you move it, looks so good. We got the Shore Trooper, Vanquish, and even this like helps make out the art. Like sometimes I look at this and I always think it's like a hand grabbing something, but it's Vader obviously chucking Palpatine, and this just helps make Vader's bones pop off the card a little bit more. Wilderness Fighter, this one I love to get. This was really cool. We got a foil Bendu, Force Creature. Didn't love that I got him in my sealed packs, but awesome nonetheless. Super excited to get Sabine. Oh my gosh, a foil Sabine. So excited. Josh was jealous of that. And yeah, even cards like, Rebel Pathfinder, it's not making my list as much anymore, really, or hasn't for some time. But this card just looks fantastic as a foil, makes you want it. K2SO, obviously a great foil, great card. Super excited to have him looking super fresh. And the old reliable 2-drop 2/2 with a shield, the Crafty Smuggler, looking great, looking blinged out, just... Oh man, that looks amazing. And yes, I do bite my nails. Thank you. So now we're going to take a look at the Hyperspace cards. And I cannot understate how good these look, in my opinion. These are truly some of my favorite cards in any game that I've seen so far. Like even just Snowspeeder right here, it's a basic, it's a common, it's a just heroism, but this thing looks fantastic. And then we got the Corellian Freighter. One of the cards spoiled this weekend. Just a common, non-aspects, nothing crazy. A Spec Force Soldier looks great. Seeing that blaster a little bit more. Seeing the red lights going off on the side. Super beautiful art. Got a First Legion Snowtrooper here, same thing. Just seeing more of like the artwork just expanded, seeing some of the cave a little bit more. All that looks amazing. The TIE Advance was a funny one because I took this in a draft, and I was playing Hero, and I knew I was playing Hero, but I was like, this looks really, really good. And the cards feel great as well, right? There's no issue. There's no curve on these. It's just the foils that had some of that issue. We have the Consular Security Force. These guys look great. Don't see as much play anymore, but, you know. Oh, and also, it also should be noted there's no reminder text, right? So it just says shielded, and even for the crafty, right, if we go back to the foiled, you'll see shielded has the reminder text on there, on the foil, but it does not for the Hyperspace. Let me see, Disarm, one of the new cards had that. Shoot First looks fantastic. This is such a good artwork. Love to see more of it. Love to see expand. Love to see Greedo's ear a little bit more in the back of his head. Really nice. As Flock would say, I got the Chimera. I forget what he said. But the Chimera looks great. And sometimes when you get like a card like this that looks this good and get the Hyperspace for this, it makes me want to play it more. I haven't really ever touched this since I tried it the first time, but, you know, this makes me want to revisit it. Maximum Firepower, we know this art is fantastic. We saw it on the playmat from TwitchCon. And yeah, I mean, this just looks so good. Looks so good. See, Mercenary Company, you get to see a little bit more of the edges, more of the blasters a little bit, and just kind of, it really just does liven up the card so much around the bottom of it. The Siege Tank, Takedown at first, I was like, I'm just going to get these for Showdown, but this still even just looks really good. The red going all around, where it's a little bit different artwork for the Store Showdown ones. Death Trooper, awesome, just that background is just looking fantastic. Being able to see more of the explosions, more of the trees and whatnot, and just everything going around. Death Trooper looks fantastic. Star Viper in space, so it's like not too crazy, and I think anything that's in space like that is going to struggle a little bit, especially a smaller ship like that, whereas Chimera looked a little bit nicer. Wilderness Fighter looks amazing. I mean, just the background of this expanded. I think this looks like such a cool card. So I got a foil Sabine, but now I also got a Hyperspace Sabine. If only we could combine them. But this looks awesome. You get to see a little bit more of the artwork around the edges. And yeah, this is, you want more of these artworks. And like I said with Pathfinder, right, he's kind of fallen to the side a little bit, but seeing him in Hyperspace is really, really cool. And Snapshot Reflexes. This just looks fantastic. Again, seeing more of the artwork in the background and really just makes this center part pop. Like Mandalorian is just popping off the card right now. Love to see that. So now we're going to look at the Hyperspace bases and leaders. So I did manage to get one of each color at least, not one of each base for the 30s. But as you can see, I got a blue one here. So we got Capital City. Looks amazing. I think stuff like the cities are going to look the best as well. Right, Catacombs looks fine, but there's really not like too much going around on the edge, but definitely worth it. And these are going to be awesome to have, and I think generally pretty budget, because you're only going to need one of these. Administrator's Tower, it's great to see the edges. And Echo Base is probably my favorite of the ones that I have, at least. I would need to see the other ones. Man, Echo Base just looks so good. So good. And then, yeah, I mean, I put Luke and Vader in there. We got them. You've seen them. They're at Gen Con, or we're at Gen Con. They're at PAX Unplugged. They're at all the events. They were at the road shows. So nothing new, but still, just love to include those guys because we got them as well. And then for some of the leaders I got, as you can see, I got Jin here. She looked. I was curious if they were going to, there's no reminder text on the other one, so I was curious if they would shorten anything on this, but it doesn't seem like it. Don't really need to because this box is going to be here anyways. But that flip side, that looks so good. Seeing the blaster, just be a little bit more full on it. I think this looks so good. I want to play Jin more, but every time I do, I just get a little bit sad. But this was who I probably used the most over the weekend once I pulled the Hyperspace at first. Sabine looks fantastic. And then, especially these leader sides. These leader sides are where it really gets crazy, right? Because even here, her symbol gets cut off a little bit, but when you flip it, you can really, really see it on the side there. And yeah, I just think that looks so good. And even, you'll see in just a second with Tarkin right here, right? He looks great, all that stuff. When you flip it over, you can see the details of the Star Destroyers through the windows, just a little bit more clean. Just makes the card just really round out pretty well. And of course, I play Flock all the time, so I had to get an IG Hyperspace. And then we finish off with Leia. She looks great. Card looks great. She's a fun leader to play. All right, and to round it out, we have our Hyperfoils. These things look amazing, right? Even a card like Recruit, I don't think anybody's going crazy about it. I had it in Boba for a little bit, but hasn't seen as much play in Premiere in quite some time. But, I mean, this just looks fantastic. You see the lighting just bouncing off of it all around the edges. The whole card looks amazing. And like I said, maximum firepower, Hyperspace looks amazing. Now add foil to it. This isn't a card that I've been running normally in my villain decks. You know, just the cost and the restriction of going to 1. But I am very likely going to include this in some of my decks now with Imperial units because I simply want to show off this card. You saw the playmat from TwitchCon. We all know how great this looks. And trust me when I say this thing is just, it's just so, so good. Then we got General Krell. It's a little bit darker, so it doesn't necessarily like pop off as much, but I still think this looks great, and you can kind of see the rainbow on his like armbands there, on his wrists. And I will be revisiting him. He's got Jedi and Republic, which are not relevant now, but he does have Force. But I'm excited to try him out in future sets, especially when the card looks as good as that. Benthic, I believe I got him in my first 6 of Sealed, and he just looks so good. I mean, and he's awesome. He's someone who gets used in my Leia and Sabine decks, and he's just a really good option to have. And so getting a card that's playable as a Hyperfoil, it's something else, man. It's something else. And then last, probably the one I'm most excited for, simply because I feel like I play Fleet Lieutenant in every Heroism deck. I just run a lot of Rebels. It's worth it. And so this guy is just, he's going to be in there. He's going to be doing +2. I might even ECL him to get a snipe on somebody. But look at that. Look at that. So I hope that this kind of showed how great these cards do look. I promise you that when you guys get your boxes and your supply, that you're going to love it just as much. These cards are phenomenal. And I'm going to go broke, like I said, playing this game. There is going to financially ruin me. I'm going to have to file for bankruptcy the Michael Scott way. But appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, we're going to try to show off the Palp next time Scott is over on like a really nice video like this. But just wanted to give you guys the opportunity to see the foil, see the Hyperspace up close in videos. And especially the Hyperspaces, right? You know, that's different for a lot of the cards. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to give us a follow on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, and we will catch y'all next time.